Hi guys, and welcome to the State of Crypto, your one-stop source for all crypto-related news. I'm your host Martin, and this is episode 161. Ethereum starts the 1 million developer challenge, and Bitpay adds XRP for thousands of merchants. Now, if you're catching this stream live, welcome, and if you're catching the replay and have any suggestions for us, please leave us a comment below. We really want to know what you are thinking. Now, if you want to be up to date with the latest crypto-related news, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button and that bell so you're notified when we go live. And if you want to keep on chatting with us once the stream is done, you can join us on the Discord. The link is in the description, guys. So is the link to all the amazing articles that we cover here on the stream. Thank you for being here with us on a great Tuesday night. I hope you're having a great time. Market did had a small bounce today. We'll talk about that once we get to the technicals. And, ever since, which just seems like we're moving sideways, right? Like, boring. But why did we bounce? We'll cover that. I do believe we have some technicals to provide a reason for that. And, let's get on with the news, right? Moving over to the news now. So, just give me 1 second. There we go. Finish setting it up on the side. There we go. Awesome. So, what is happening today? Well, like I said, first article comes from Crypto News. I can't see the logo here, so I'll make sure you know at least which website it's from when you can't see the logo. It's brought to my attention that I wasn't. Sometimes you couldn't see which site I was getting the news from. So this is from Crypto News, and it does basically state that Ethereum officially starts the 1 million developer challenge, and after 3 months since the initial announcement, the challenge to get 1 million developers to build on Ethereum is officially on. Last October at the DevCon 5 conference held by the Ethereum Foundation, Joseph Lubin, the co-founder of Ethereum and founder of blockchain company Consensus, announced the mission to get 1 million developers on his platform by the DevCon 6 this year. It has been quiet since the announcement, and the amount of information on the website as to how Ethereum plans to accomplish this feature has been changing. Finally, yesterday, Consensus open source chief Jim Jagielski tweeted that 1 million effort is officially launched. The 1milliondevs.com website now offers a list of meetups, conferences, hackathons, as well as assistance with finding a job as a crypto developer, etc. As project partners, the site names the Ethereum Foundation, Consensus, and Gitcoin, an open source bounties platform on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, an emphasis is yet again placed on Web 3.0 as the next evolution of the internet, with the site making distinction between the Web 2.0 and Web 3.0 developer. The latter, it says, it's a Web 2.0 developer with an expanded blockchain-enabled toolkit containing new tools. It offers the choice of path to the interested developers based on their experience between starting as a Web 2.0 developer and a Web 3.0 beginner and a Web 3.0 expert. Another point of emphasis is the so-called moment, Lubin is quoting, and saying on the website, the first Ethereum moment is when you send Ether to someone anywhere in the world at any time of day for less than a penny, and they received it instantly. Now, I'm not sure it's that quickly. They might try to make it that quick, but again, I'm not sure if that's the real moment, right? The real moment is when you realize the full potential of the crypto you're trying to develop. If making a transaction that goes really quick is your moment, sadly, there's other banks that already kind of do that, especially in some countries. For example, here in Mexico, if I wanted to send money to someone else, I could send it right now, and that person would receive it in like seconds, right? So, yeah, across the world, yeah, but it's really not that big of an moment, right? I would believe that moment, that like eureka moment, is going to come in whenever you actually start realizing the full potential of what you can do with crypto. Anyways, he adds that this is how people realize that they can be their own bank and that they can build and run an alternative global financial system, allowing greater economic and political agency for any participation on the planet. Now, it is difficult to come about the information on the exact number of developers currently developing on the platform, though the website claims that it could be more than 200,000 active developers back in October. While it only recently, the website showed 0 instead of 200,000. The site says that the platform dominant community is orders of magnitude larger than the next biggest blockchain competitor, and that is comprised of thousands of brilliant collaborators. Now, the question here is, how are you going to get 1 million developers all on the same boat rowing towards that same destination on site, right? I do believe that's going to be a challenge, having everyone moving towards the same goal. It is a lot of people to coordinate. So good luck with that, Ethereum. I hope you guys have a lot of luck with your 1 million developers. Now, the next 3 articles that we're going to cover are from the XRP Arcade. That is Leonidas' website, right? He does cover some articles regarding XRP. We have 3 today. And after that, we'll move on to the market analysis. So thank you for staying with us as we go through this. Now, this one's from today. Bitpay, the world's largest provider of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency payment services, announced the launch of XRP payments and cross-border transfers with added support for XRP to the Bitpay wallet app. That is what this article is saying. It's very short in nature, so I'm just going to go through it. It's just like 3 paragraphs that are the most important. Bitpay ventures around the world can now accept XRP without any additional integrations required on their part. And according to Bitpay CMO Bill Sielke, the already e-commerce and e-gifter and international nonprofit Care are among the first on board. Now, in October, Xspring announced a partnership with Bitpay to natively support XRP, which would enable thousands of businesses to accept XRP for payments through Bitpay's merchant processing platform. Now, my point here is, unfortunately, the merchant is not accepting XRP directly. That merchant is probably going to get paid with fiat, and Bitpay are the ones that are basically doing that conversion for the merchant. Yes, it is a step on the right direction, but again, it's really not having the people use it, right? And having the people use it is what's going to be an adoption. Bitpay, what they're going to do is take it, convert it, pay that in money, but they're going to keep the XRP, or keep a fraction of the XRP, and the exchange, it's probably going to take a fee as well whenever they switch it back to dollars or however they're going to handle it. So again, really, really not the best bang for your buck. I would say if the merchant could take it directly, then you wouldn't have this middleman, that is Bitpay, and it would be better off for everyone. Now, that is my take on this. Your mileage may vary, and if you want to comment something, you can put it on the chat. We are live, so I can reply to you. We can engage in a conversation, discussion, or whatever. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can leave it as a comment on the comment section below once the stream is done, and I'll get back to you. Anyways, that's it for this one. Now, Hitmax, this is a very short article. This is really nothing here. It says that Hitmax is a decentralized crypto asset trading platform that will open trading. It was supposed to open trading today. I'm not sure whether or not they've opened trading or not. XRP will be one of those assets listed with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USD Tether pairs. Now, they do have a lot of other cryptos that are going to be listed. I'm not sure about which pairs they're going to have, but they have Bitcoin, USD Tether, Ethereum, Litecoin, EOS, Bitcoin SV, XRP, TRX, Bitcoin Cash, HTAX, and Monero, ETC, Zcash, and Dash. Right? Those are the ones that are going to be publicly traded. Again, if you want a new exchange, I'm not sure how safe it's going to be. I haven't really been in looking for any news regarding an exchange. I'm happy with the exchanges that I have. I might look into them, and I'll let you know what I think about it. I might not look into them also. It depends. Right now, I'm really not looking for another exchange. There's plenty out there that offer really good opportunities for trading with a lot of liquidity and volume that gets traded on in each of those exchanges. Now, being here in a new exchange that's probably not going to have that much liquidity is going to make it really hard for you to be able to take a position and to get out of a position. So they're going to have to do a lot of really hard groundwork to get a lot of traction and get a lot of users on board. That is going to be key for them. If they cannot get users on board, people are not going to be able to get into positions and out of positions quickly, and that's going to deter the users from being on this platform, and they might look for another platform where they can get their trading done in a faster manner, right? Trust me, there's nothing worse than being stuck in a position, not being able to get out, because no one wants to buy at that price, because everywhere else in the other exchanges, the price is going going down faster, and here in their exchange you're trying to trade, there's only like 2 more people trading, and no one wants to buy at that price yet. So yeah, volume and people, like having their people, it's going to be key for them. Anyways, on to the next one. This was a topic of discussion today on Twitter. I actually went on and sided with Leonidas on this. After partnering with Alipay, Tranglo is now integrating RippleNet. Now, why did I side it with Leonidas on this? He did come out with this article today, yesterday, January the 20th, and what was the other website? I can't remember. It was probably Daily Hodl. The Daily Hodl came out with a similar article today, and they didn't credit Leonidas for the information. And apparently, they were like really close to stating something that's very close to what he's stating. So again, they're not getting credit where credit is due. So yeah, really trying to point out the fact that, you know, one, you shouldn't plagiarize. Two, you should give credit where credit is due. So again, going with Leonidas on this. That's why I'm showing this article from his website. Another one from the Daily Huddle that came out today. Anyways, Triangle OS and the BHD is a global cross-border payment processing hub that supports business payments, mass payout, payment collection, money transfer, and mobile top-up. With offices in Kuala Lumpur, Jakarta, Dubai, and London, Triangle services reach more than 100 countries, supporting 250 mobile operators, 100 billers, 600 banks, wallets, and 90,000 cash pickup outlets. Founded in 2008, Triangle has an annual processing value of $1 billion. That is a lot of dough they process a year, really. They probably are an interesting market. Now, Esther Lau's LinkedIn profile, she's the project manager at Triangle SNDBHD, reveals that Triangle is working on integrating RippleNet. According to her profile, she's handling the RippleNet integration with in-house systems since November. Now, remember, Swell was in November, and also Leonidas points this out. So yeah, Swell was in November. Triangle also partnered with Alipay a few weeks ago to facilitate seamless cross-border remittances to Alipay's users, who will be able to receive quick and secure money transfers within the app. Alipay currently serves more than 1.2 billion users around the world, together with its local e-wallet partners. Now, something that's going to be cool here is that if Triangle is able to do this with Alipay, they might be using XRP ODL for their transfers so they can flow quickly. Of course, Alipay would not receive the crypto. They probably are going to receive the fiat, or the people that are receiving the receiving wallet is probably going to get the fiat, right? The account. But Triangle is just going to be that intermediary, and they're probably going to work like MoneyGram does right now, right? So you put in an order to MoneyGram, it goes through an exchange, gets converted back to fiat, and then it goes into that person. It gets delivered to that person at the receiving end very quickly. So again, that's probably how this is going to roll. I do hope that they are using the XRP, the ODL tool from XRP. That's going to be key, right, for the adoption. So that's it for the news. If you stick with me, we'll cover the analysis part of this stream in one short second as we shift towards that area, right? Thank you for staying here with us, guys. Welcome to the technicals part of the stream. You might be wondering why the market pumped a little bit today. I'll talk about that once we get to the Bitcoin segment of the stream again. There was something that we talked about yesterday and that happened today. So again, if you don't follow this daily, you might miss out on the small calls that we make that have huge impact on the market sometimes. Anyways, yesterday, money coming into the crypto sphere, 1.29% from an opening of 233.86 billion, closing at 236.72 billion, a $3 billion move to the upside. Right now, moving down a little bit, 0.23%. Sitting at 236.16 billion, a $557.24 million move to the downside. That's it, man. We want more money to come into the crypto sphere. We want to wait for it for this to pump a little bit more. I'm not sure whether or not we're going to get quickly. We did have divergence, move down as expected. Now we're going slightly lower than our previous low, and we don't have any negative momentum. So again, we want to wait for negative momentum to develop before we actually pump or expect more money to come in. Again, we could still go on here and ramp up again, kind of like we did here, right? We were like dying out, and then we pumped more. But we do, at some point in time, have to develop a negative momentum island. That is just the way the market flows. You cannot always be pumping green, right? Let's go to Bitcoin. What's happening with Bitcoin dominance? Sitting at 67.14% of market cap right now. Yesterday, losing dominance, 0.15% from an opening of 67.23, closing at 67.10. Right now, struggling to gain dominance, 0.07% positive. Right now, it just turned positive still, even though it shows red. It's 0.06, sitting at 67.14% of market cap. I do want this to go down more. Like I stated, right? The only thing I'm noticing is that, well, I mean, I don't do analysis for market cap because it's really not relevant to the price and where the price is going to go. You could be losing dominance and still make green days. So it's really not, like I said, not a strong indicative of what could happen. Now you're still doing this, right? So you're going lower, or you're lower on dominance, but lower on your negative momentum. That means that you are creating bearish, bullish divergence. You might try to pump from here. Now let's go to Bitcoin price. What is happening with the price of Bitcoin? Sitting at 8,699. What happened yesterday, man? Why did we pump? Well, there's a couple things that happened, and I'll talk about them, right? You might notice that this alert, it's lower than it was yesterday. Yesterday I had it up here at 8,536. Or yeah, 8,536, and right now I have it over here at 8,455. Why did I shift it lower? Well, remember I told you guys that my entry price was 8,900. I do believe we're gonna go higher, and it was a risk. It was a gamble that I was playing because we knew that we could get rejected around the 200 simple moving average, which we did. But if we didn't get rejected, we could have been on the bull market, and we talked about it when we were here yesterday or 2 days ago, right? Like we were up here. This was green. It was like it seemed like we we're gonna go much higher. And I was telling you guys that we needed to confirm a closing above that 200 simple moving average for us to really be out of the bear market and into the bull market. That same day, it came down, it came red. That's fine, man. I didn't close my position. It was over here at 8,000. What was this? 8,536. But again, my entry point was 8,900, and I did set I was gonna put it at 5% below, and 5% below that is over here at 8,455. Today we didn't quite hit it. The lowest we got was 8,465, so like $10 off, and that's great because I would have triggered my my stop loss, and I probably would have gotten out of Bitcoin. And I am glad that this bounce. Part of the reason I was also moving it down, I explained yesterday, I was expecting for us to make negative momentum on the 1 hour and then pump from there, which we did today, and you'll see that once we get to the 1 hour chart. Now, on the daily, we're really not making anything else. Got positive momentum dying out, sitting sold on the RSI still at 63.05. Really nothing else happening since. I'll just show the 200 just so we can look at where it's at. But really, it's not going to have any impact on the analysis that we're doing right now. The 200, it's sitting at 9,003, man. We were really close to it. Yeah, like I said, back here we kind of were above it, which was fine, but we didn't manage to close above that. So right now, you know, it's probably going to keep on dropping down a little bit, and we'll get closer to it, or it'll get closer to us in case Bitcoin just keeps on moving sideways. This will probably keep on dropping, and as we get closer to that line, anyways. So let's move on to. Let's set this back to the 20 simple moving average and move on to the 4 hour charts. Now, what's happening on the 4 hours? On the 4 hours, we were also developing divergence from here going lower, right, on that price. I'll just make sure this is going to stay here on the 4 hours with us quickly. Right. Awesome. So we're going here. You can tell from here to here. So we're going from negative momentum to less negative momentum. On the RSI, we don't have it. We're going from a neutral on the RSI to a lower on the RSI, again, going with the market. But overall, on the price and the MACD histogram, we are creating this bullish divergence. And from there, we pumped. Now, we did manage to get above that 20 MA. And right now, we're moving down, but trying to hold it. We're actually sitting at the 20 MA. It's going to be key that we maintain this 20 MA if we want to stay above. If we drop below 20 MA, it's probably not going to be the best. We might start to see lower prices and new native momentum island building. Neutral on the RSI at 51.14. Let's go to the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, we were here yesterday. I was telling you guys that we created this divergence right up to here to be positive, and I told you we probably want to move lower and create a negative momentum island, and from there really call divergence. And we did just that. We did manage to go slightly lower. We did also create that negative momentum, and from there we managed to move on. Now, if on the RSI we were at 26.04, and the low we hit was 27, so of course it's slightly higher on the RSI than we were before. Again, creating that strong bullish divergence. We did get the pump, but it wasn't as strong as we would have wanted it to be. I mean, I would have expected for the pump to at least get us up to the 8,800s again or 8,900s again, but it was very weak. At least we did get above that 20 MA, but right now we're moving down. We're probably going to see indecision again for a little bit. Impulse up, we're kind of flagging, but really not making a very nice pattern. It just looks like sideways motion, slightly going down, but not really strongly discernible pattern. So again, we did move down. I don't care why we moved down. We moved down and created the negative momentum we needed to create that divergence that helped us pump. That's what I was looking for, right? I don't care if there were liquidations. I don't care what anything else was happening here. All I care was that this happened. This move that created the divergence that we needed, and the divergence that I called yesterday and that we were expecting to play out. Stuff that could happen, right? We're starting to develop a new momentum island. Now, the height of this previous island body, right, besides this red candle, was back here at 12.93. Right now, we made a higher one at 13.15, and we were going higher than our previous high. Let's say this one. So again, we're going with the market, and over here we're also going higher, right? So again, we're going with the market, sitting neutral at 55.47, and waiting for this to develop a little bit more, so we can call something else. Again, something that worries me is that we might just slowly flag down and back into this sideways motion that we were having. We did get a little bit of expansion on the Bollinger Bands, but not much. We kind of neutralized it with this pump to the upside, and right now, we're probably going to start contracting a little bit again if we get sideways motion. Now, that's going to be it for Bitcoin. I'm going to move on to Ethereum. Awesome, we're in Ethereum. I'm looking at Ethereum on the daily. What's happening yesterday? Slightly gaining dominance, 0.32%. Right now, losing a little bit. Sorry, gaining still. It just looks right. 0.01, 0.02. Sitting at 7.83% of market cap. The price of Ethereum at $168.98. Let's look at what's happening, right? We had a positive day in the session day 2 days ago, right? Or yesterday, physical yesterday, market yesterday, 2 days ago. And then today, which is markets yesterday, gaining a little bit of that price. Right now, seeing slightly movement to downside, 0.22%. Like I said, sitting at 168.98. That positive momentum dying out. So we're going from a high to lower high, right? High, lower, less positive momentum, and high on the other side, lower on the other side. So again, being congruent with the market, nothing else happening there. Sitting neutral, bought on the other side, 65.93. I'm looking for something bearish, and I'm not finding it, and that is great. That means we're probably going to have just regular market motion out here. That's it, man. We got to wait for something to develop that we can call out. Let's go to 4 hours. On the apparently, stuff that I did on my charts kind of didn't save from yesterday. It's possible we had changed this. Anyways, price action to the downside, right? We're like trying to rally a little bit better than Bitcoin, hitting that 20 MA, rejecting it. Last time we hit it, really rejected, and then from there we reversed, just like Bitcoin did, and pumped from there. Now, that's all great. Right now, we're holding that 20 MA. We did manage to touch it and reject it, right? So we're looking for higher prices. We used it as support, and that is fine. Now, high, lower, high, negative momentum, less negative momentum, low on the other side, high on the other side. Again, going with the market. Nothing else we can do there. Let's jump onto let's jump onto the 1 hour. Although something that's going to worry me here is we might try to go and make positive momentum, right? And we're probably going to make something higher than this, right? And we're going to create hidden bearish divergence, which could potentially bring us down again. Just something that could happen if this, if we manage to make positive momentum. The momentum positive we made back here is very, very scrubbish, very little, and any small pump could really get this going higher. Right? It doesn't have to be this high, just anything higher than 0.13 would make us have this bearish divergence, and then we could potentially start to break down again. We would have to keep on tracking it as it develops for us to know that it's played out. Now, remember, I called this out. I'm going to delete them. The lines are not supposed to be there because that's not happening yet. It's just a potential. Sometimes we do leave them, especially when they're bearish. But when they're bullish, but when they're bearish, I tend to remove them until they actually play out. I'll put them out again, right? So let's go to the 1 hour chart. On the 1 hour, neutral on the other side, 55.51. Positive momentum. We're creating divergence, right? If you can't see it, I'll show you how. So we're going from this low to this high, right? So in price, we're going higher, right? Just let me make sure this is going to stick here with us. And on the MACD histogram, we're going lower, right? So again, creating that strong bearish divergence, potential price action to downside, something we should watch out for. Now, from here, back here on the other side to here, we wouldn't have it. We're going higher, but we might have it from this point, which would be 60.79, and here would be 60.78. So again, we could say we're like 0.01. So this is basically a sideways motion, right? And for this, we would take it from this point here, right, to this point here. So again, we would say that we're having a different type of bearish divergence. It would be weak class C type 3 bearish divergence, and that is enough to move you down. We are moving down. We hit that 20 MA and we're bouncing from there. That's precisely what's happening right now. Ads from Spotify coming in. Awesome, man. Let's get rid of them real quick and play something else. Yeah, let's play this. Oh, I'm not sure if we heard this or not, but yeah, there we go. Again, if we manage to hold the 20 MA, we might try to pump from there a little bit. If we don't, we could expect to see lower prices again. I mean, price action to the downside, that would generally mean lower prices, right? Anyways, that's it for Ethereum. Let's move on to XRP, man. What is happening with the XRP? Yesterday, it was gaining a little bit of dominance, 0.49%. Right now, it's losing 0.22%, sitting at 4.36% market cap. We really want Ripple to be above 5, man. It's better for everyone. It's better for Ripple. It's better for the whole crypto sphere if Ripple and every other crypto gains terrain against Bitcoin, right? Anyways, what is happening with XRP? Sitting at 23 cents, 22.53 cents. Yesterday, it had a small pump again because Bitcoin pumped, and right now it's moving down a little bit because it's just following the rest of the market. Like I said, sitting at 23.53 cents. We're going from a high to a lower high, positive momentum, less positive momentum, high on the RSI, low on the RSI. Sitting right now, bought still at 60.40 on the RSI. Not developing much on the daily, rejecting the higher prices a couple days ago. We talked about that already. So let's go on to the 4 hours. On the 4 hours, we had divergence, right? Twice. Here once, and then here again. So we had strong divergence. You could always, like, this is a positive momentum island. We could have ignored it and go all the way from here to here. Right? And all the way from here to here. And from here to here, right? And that still creates that strong bearish divergence. We just left it in 2 parts because it also played down here to the downside as we were expecting it. We hit the 20 MA and we bounced from there. We created divergence again, bearish. We did break below that 20 MA, and until a couple hours ago, we were still above that 20 MA, right? We did manage to get above it, but we're failing to hold it, which again, it's weakness, right? We're not strong enough to stay above that 20 MA, and we want to do that now. Are we trading divergence? Not really. Low, higher low, negative momentum, less negative momentum. Low on the RSI, high on the RSI. We're just going with the market. We're really not creating any kind of divergence that would push us to the downside or the upside. So we're probably going to play off what Bitcoin does, which is really not what you want to see. You want to see this to be a little bit more independent, have its own thing going, and take it from there. Anyways, let's move on to the 1 hour. Sitting neutral on the 1 hour as well, 48.89. Now, do we have divergence? Not the one we were looking for. We do have a type of bullish divergence. So here we were developing this, right? I think I corrected this yesterday. I was positive that I had moved this to here. But again, my charts didn't save, and we didn't have it on the other side because I got rid of it. So cool. We have this going on, right? Now, I just trace this line right now, and I'll trace it also from here to here. Why am I tracing this line? Because we're having a hidden bullish divergence. That is what we're developing, right? Low price, higher on the price, low on that negative momentum, high on that negative momentum. So more negative momentum, and then going, we don't have it here on the RSI, right? We're sitting, we're going from sold, oversold to sold actually back here. Right now we're still sitting neutral, like I said, less negative momentum, but also higher on our price, right? On our low. So that's it for this. We're gonna move. What else should we move forward to? What else should we look at, guys? Let me know. I'm gonna move on to Litecoin, then Binance. But if you have a coin that you want me to look at, put it on the chat and I'll look at it after we do Binance. Otherwise, we'll call it a stream for tonight, and that'll be that, right? So let's move on to Litecoin and see what's happening with Litecoin. Litecoin on the daily yesterday lost dominance 0.58%. Right now losing dominance still 0.30%. Sitting at 1.55% market cap. Price of Litecoin $57.11. Are we creating divergence? No, we already talked about this. High, higher high, positive momentum, more positive momentum. High on the RSI, higher on the RSI. Since then, we kind of dropped again back into this down sloping, down sloping channel that we had, and really having indecision days. Right? Look at this, almost perfect. Right? And we had a red day pushing us down, then we have a green day pushing us up. Right now, we have a red day pushing us back down, almost to that same level of where we opened yesterday. So again, a lot of indecision happening. It's hitting bought on the RSI at 64.64. Let's see if the smaller time frames give us more clues as to what might be happening, right? That's what we want to look forward to. So again, guys, if you haven't done it yet, you should hit that like button, that bell, that sub, so you're notified when we go live. And yeah, you guys should join us. We're really, really cool here. You can talk with me. Ask Gary, could I look at Dash? You have some time and haven't looked at it. Yes, as Gary, I haven't looked at it, man. I will look at it for sure. Once I finish Binance, I will look at Dash for sure. And I haven't looked at it today yet, so we'll do that. What is happening here? Well, we're going high, lower high, positive momentum, negative momentum. That's fine. We're just going with the market, right? We did drop low. Are we going lower? Yes, slightly lower. Are we going less? Yes, we are creating that bullish divergence that we have with some of the other coins, particularly Bitcoin and Ethereum. We didn't have this developing on Ripple, XRP. So let's get on with this, right? So we're going from here to here, here to here, creating that divergence, a bullish, strong, really pumping from there. Last right, XRP. Love for the XRP. Yes, man, I do love XRP. I am holding XRP long term. That is my hodl. And I just recently got back into Bitcoin again because I did believe I was going to do something. And it didn't quite do it. It was a risk. It was a bit of a gambit that I had to take, a gamble that I had to take, hoping that it would stay above that 200 simple moving average, and it didn't, man. Anyways, yeah, thanks, man. Like I said, I am hodling, and that's the only thing I haven't sold throughout the rest of the market. I did get out of most of the other cryptos except for XRP, and I talked about that in other streams, and I told you why. XRP is my hodl bag, is my long-term racehorse. I do believe in them long term. I do like their project, but I am trying to be as fair as I can with all the rest of the cryptos, because I do believe each crypto has its own reason for being, and each crypto is attacking a different problem or trying to solve a different issue. So I am pro crypto, but I'm also pro XRP, right? And I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. I'm not an XRP super maxi. I do like XRP a lot more than other cryptos, but again, I am as fair as I can with the rest of the cryptosphere. That's why I also got back into Bitcoin. Anyways, creating divergence, we did manage to rally, but didn't quite get above that 20 MA. Right now, we seem to try to get above it again, but failing and moving down. So again, not the strongest sign that you want to see. You usually want to close above that 20 MA and move on to like maybe higher prices, but right now we're not seeing that with Litecoin. Neutral on the RSI at 48.68. Let's move on to the 1 hour. What's happening with Litecoin on the 1 hour, man? Are we going lower? Yes, very, very slightly lower. Now, did we go lower from here, our previous negative momentum? Yes, we did. So I'll take it from the previous negative momentum, and I'm gonna ignore this low because we're not making negative momentum, and you should trace from a negative momentum island to a negative momentum island, right? That's how you should call your divergences. Sometimes you could go to a zero, and that's fine, but it's best if you go to another negative momentum island, right? So again, we're seeing this. If you want to go from here to this zero, right, just like we did with Bitcoin before the actual negative momentum island, you would have gone from here to here, and then you would have said you had divergence, and it did play out, right? You were going lower, but you were making positive momentum, and it did play it to the upside, and that's fine. But you still managed to go lower in the longer term, and managed to still create that negative momentum again, less negative momentum, but higher on your RSI. Also, you would have it on the RSI, go low on the RSI, higher on the RSI, and here where we had calling that divergence on the MACD, we would also have had it on the RSI, right? Low, high, and we're going lower on that price, creating that strong bullish divergence. Price action to the upside. We did get it once, we did get it twice, but again, lower high than our previous high. Really trying to create positive momentum, but we're going much lower than our previous one. So really not looking too strong for Litecoin right now. We're seeing a lot of indecision happening, just a little bit upsloping, but still sideways motion nonetheless. Yeah, not the best looking for Litecoin, man. It just looks like a lot of indecision happening, right? Let's go to Binance. What is happening with Binance? On the daily, yesterday gained dominance, 3.26%. Right now gaining a little bit more, 0.78, sitting at 1.20% market cap. The price of Binance is at $18.15. We created divergence. We moved to the downside as expected. We tried to rally the last 2 days. That's fine. We rallied because Bitcoin also rallied yesterday. We gained 4.55% of the market. Now, positive, right? So right now we're creating bearish divergence again. Until today, we're going from a high to a higher high, right? Slightly higher. And we're going from positive momentum to less positive momentum. And also on the RSI, we'll be going from high on the RSI to low on the RSI, creating that strong bearish divergence, potential price action to the downside. Watch out for this as it might go down, depending on how we close today, though. So let's go to the 4 hours. Now, do we have something on the 4 hours? Let's see. On the 4 hours, we don't quite have it yet, right? This would be our high. So this will be our high. We're going higher. This was our high. We're also going slightly higher. we would only have it against the RSI, and we're still developing this though, right? So again, we're developing strong bearish divergence, but it can get undone. So just keep on tracking this as it keeps on developing. Sitting bot on the RSI 63.47. I'm going to move on to the 1 hour chart. And again, yes, awesome. The stuff from the daily and the 4 hour decided to come back here and show up on the on the 1 hour chart, right? So let's send each of these indicators back to its time frame so we can have a clean 1 hour looking, and let's move on from there, right? Awesome. There we go. Now this is also from I guess the daily, right? We called it. There we go. Awesome. So what are we doing short term? Are we creating divergence? Let's see. What was this? 501, 537. Going slightly higher than our previous high. So also going higher. So from this island we don't have it. From this island we would have it, right? From way back here, we're going from a high to a lower high, and we'll be going from a positive momentum to much higher positive momentum, creating hidden bearish divergence, potential price continuation, and probably part of the reason why that we're moving down right now. We would also have it on the RSI. Right, there we go. So it'll just play out the same, again, going down and creating that hidden bearish. So that's it for Binance. Now, we did have a request from Asgari requesting that we look at Dash. We'll go look at that right now. And if you're joining us and you are not following us on Twitter, you should. We're also there. I'm also on Coil, Cinnamon, Steemit, Libre. I'm trying to figure out what else. I'm in a couple places. So if you guys want to look at for me, I'm in a couple places. Dash. I don't believe I looked at Dash before, so I'm not sure if I even have a chart open for that. But don't worry about it. We'll look at it. So it's not a problem. Just let me look for Dash chart. Dash. To the dollar. I like to pair them against the dollar. It just it's just better, right? So Dash, as requested by Asgari, we'll look at that. Man, very nice pump a couple days ago. Right now, dropping again. We had looked at this chart before. That is awesome. Why? Okay, cool. We did have targets to the upside. We did manage to break all the targets that we had. There were actually supports that we were looking for. We did get really close to bouncing down here. We did manage to rally a little bit. Downsloping consolidation that we had. Again, usually break this to the upside. We didn't break it high enough though. Let's see. High, higher, high. Positive momentum, more positive momentum. Sitting sold right now. Sorry, bought right now on the RSI at 66.23. Nothing that I can look at on the daily on this short-term scale here that would indicate any bearish reaction happening. Again, probably breaking down because one, we got to pull back from that large impulse. We got to consolidate. That's part of the reason that we moved down, and also Bitcoin probably had something to do with this. So let's go to the 4 hours. On the 4 hour chart, now let's see, high, higher, high, positive momentum, more positive momentum. On the RSI, we did create divergence though, right? So going from here to here, right, going higher. Just gonna make sure this is gonna stay here on the 4 hours because it wants to go everywhere right now. And same thing would happen, right, from here to here, right, creating that divergence. Again, we wouldn't have it here on the MACD histogram, just here on the RSI. Price action to downside, we did get it. We did try to rally again, failed, and then really went down from there. Now low, lower, low, negative momentum, more negative momentum, low on the RSI, lower on the RSI, that's fine. Let's see, high, higher, high, high, higher, high. Really nothing happening here that's like something to write home about, right? So I'm looking at this, trying to figure out like divergences or something else that could indicate a potential price action. Right now we're sitting neutral on the RSI at 50.60, very, very middle ground. So let's move on to the 1 hour, man. We might get better clues on the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, let's see, low, lower, low, higher, low, negative momentum, more negative momentum, less negative momentum, high on the RSI, low on the RSI, high on the RSI, going with the market. Now on the top part, let's see, high, lower high, positive momentum, negative momentum still, high on the RSI, low on the RSI. We really don't have anything going on here in the shorter term. I'm gonna look farther back, see if we have something. Look, the divergence that I called out on the daily, it's also here, right, on the 1 hour. I'll just make sure it's gonna stay here with us. And it would have been way back here, right? So again, we would have also had that divergence being congruent from the daily and the 1 hour. So again, price action to the downside, we did get it. Let's see if we did create divergence though, right? Bullish from here to here, and from here to here, and from here to here. Yes, I know calling stuff from the past, it's really easy because already there and it's played out. But again, I don't have anything going on right now that would give me any other indicator, right? Look, even shorter term, 1.1, 1.19. So let's say high on your on your price, higher on your price, high on your positive momentum, but higher on your positive momentum. So really no divergence developing. That would indicate price action downside. We're probably going to flow with the rest of the market here. I'm not seeing anything else. We do have some support here at 103. So let's see if we move down, we might be able to hold it. Also, if we move down slightly or slowly to the downside, we can probably create some divergence, maybe going slightly lower and managing to stay with less negative momentum. And the RSI, I don't think we'll get it. If we move down, we're probably going to kill it on the RSI. But we might be looking for that divergence, that bullish divergence, strong bullish divergence to develop on the MACD, right? That's all I could have for Dash right now, Gary. I hope that was good enough for you, man. If you have any questions, do let me know. We can talk about them. And let me see if there's anything else, man. Yeah, there's something, but it's not really clear. And it wouldn't really be playing out because we are going lower here. I was trying to see if this was head and shoulders pattern, right? But this shoulder would have killed it. Went much lower, right, on that price than this shoulder. You want them to be more or less even. But we could try to see if it worked, right? So this would have been one shoulder. Move this down. This would have been the head over here, very small head, and then this would have been the other shoulder, right? Now that would have made the neckline from here to here. That wasn't where I wanted to anchor from. Freaking ads from Spotify. There we go. Let's get rid of them. Let's get something else playing and move from there. Wow, really, man. Alright, cool. There's something that should be coming out on the playlist now. Alright, so for some reason it really doesn't want to let me anchor from where I want to anchor, man. It's freaking weird. There we go. So that's what we would have been looking at if this was to be a head and shoulders. Then we would have, of course, taken it from the top of the head to the body, and then we would have expected to, on the breakout, hit a measure move. We didn't quite hit a measure move again. I would have to do a math calculation to see what percentage we really went down from here to this other shoulder. But again, if this was to be a head and shoulders, this is the way it would have played out, and we would have at least hit a measure move, which we didn't. So again, really not sure whether or not I could have called it a valid head and shoulders, particularly because we have this spike here, this red spike here of negative price, right? So that's it for this, man. I'm gonna go back to XRP real quick, and then from there on to Bitcoin again. And then if no one else has any other requests, I'll probably just close the stream. If you guys do have a request or want to talk about any topic, you guys can like post it on the chat, and I will definitely reply to you guys. That's what I'm here for, engaging with you, talking with you about crypto, whatever you guys want to talk about. And yeah, it's your show, guys. I mean, I'm just here like hosting the stream, but you guys can decide whatever topic we talk about, right? You took a short on XRP earlier. I'm not sure when you took it or what price. I do hope it plays in your favor, man. I'm not sure how strong it's gonna be though. We're below that 20 simple moving average, but we'll see whether or not we get above it again. Something that could happen, and it could be something that we watch out for, right? Going lower on that price, but staying above on that negative momentum, creating strong bullish, right? And if that happens, you might get a pump, so your short might get might not play out. Just keep it in mind; it's a possibility. It's also a possibility that this just like goes down like crazy, right? But again, this is not written in stone. I'm just calling out potentials that I see for you guys to keep in mind, right? So again, just keep in mind that there could be divergence, strong bullish that could be developed, and that could help you pump. But again, if this just goes above this and the price goes much lower also, but you get more negative momentum, you wouldn't have that bearish divergence, and then really you could you still go down, man. So again, your short could play But just be careful depending on how this goes down, it's going to determine whether or not we trade that divergence that could get us into trouble, right? So really nothing else happening here with Ripple, man, except what we already covered. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So high, lower high, high, lower high, positive momentum, less. Yeah, really, I don't think I missed anything on the 1 hour. Let's go back to Bitcoin real quick, man. We did create the divergence, very nice pump again. Struggling, man, struggling to really rally. I told you guys it was a scrub or a crappy flag because really we don't get good anchoring points, right? We could say we're kind of going down, and then if that's the case, we would be using the wicks, so we have to use the wicks on the bottom, and it would just look like this weird pattern. Why is this anchoring? There we go. Let me place it where I want to. There we go. Awesome. So this is the way I would be looking at it right now, although I do believe the pattern is short. It's just a couple of small candlesticks that's been going on, and really any small bump to the upside or downside could broaden this into a falling wedge or a different kind of triangle formation, right? So you took it short and it pumped to 25. Sorry, let me go back to XRP, man. So you went in at 25 and it went down, so you're making cash right now. All right, so you took a short at 25 cents, I'm guessing. So if that's the case, you're probably good right now. Yeah. Yeah. So if that's the case, you're probably good still. Watch out though, if Bitcoin pumps, it could bring this up, right? And again, Bitcoin, it could be taking a breather, right? We're really stagnant for a while. Man, I was like, throughout the day, I was like, man, we're probably gonna move. We're gonna move soon. And then boom, it happened to downside. I was like, fuck, man, I had to close my position, man, because it's really nearing my stop loss. And then we didn't quite get to it. We were really close to it, man. I was like, man, I'm glad it didn't, because we were creating divergence, and I didn't want to close my position. We were like making like down here on that negative momentum, and I was like, man, I really don't want to close this position, man, because I do believe that we're gonna have a pump. I don't want this to go up still, though. Like I told you, my entry point was at 8,900, and that was on my personal strategy. Mainly because we were getting close to a 200 simple moving average on the daily. And if we manage to get above that 200 simple moving average, we are on the bull market again. So the price could have jumped from there. But again, we did get above that 200 simple moving average on the daily, sorry. But we didn't manage to close above it. And it's something I talked about that stream prior, right? We're going green, we're up here, everyone was happy, we're above the 200 simple moving average. I told you guys, we need to close that day there. And we didn't. We actually moved down. So again, we did talk about that before. And when we looked at the 200 simple moving average, and if you watch this show before, I referenced to it because every time we've been above that 200 simple moving average, we've been on the bull market for all the cryptos. And every time we've been below that, we've been on the bear market. Look, we broke it on April the 2nd when we went back on the bull market. And we did try to wick above it, but we failed. And the previous times, we got close to it, right? Like here we close to it, kissed it, and then moved down until April the 2nd. So again, I knew it was a possibility. We were going up with divergence, and I talked about that on the 1 hour as well. That's why we do have that divergence that I traced is in here. But we had divergence, I think, on the 4 hours. Yeah, here it is, right? From here to here, again, going higher. And I knew it was a risk that the price could have gone down. We were flagging, and usually downsloping flags or falling wedges tend to break to the upside. And we're making a flag, right? What it looked like a falling wedge, I think, on the 1 hour. Or a small downsloping channel, if you will. For some reason, it's not letting me anchor to where I want to, so I'll check that out after the stream. Before I could place them wherever, now it just wants to anchor to like certain points, so there's probably some lock that I applied that I can't remember when I did it. Anyways, we do have this channel, and we should have broken into the upside, but again, the divergence that we had in the 4 hours did break us down. So really, nothing I could do about that, really. And since I really didn't hit my stop loss, I didn't get out of my position, right? I did hit it back here because I hadn't moved it, but the market didn't close my position, probably because we just wicked real quick below it and back up. So my order probably didn't even get fulfilled or triggered. But what I was looking at is that we didn't go below it again, because like I told you yesterday, I was going to move it to 5% because I was waiting for this divergence to develop, which we did get. Fortunately, not pumping as strong as it should. And how did I get to this level of wherever I have my alert here at 8,455? It's very simple math. If you want to go 5% below, you take your entry point, right? You take 5% of that, then you subtract it from your entry point, and then voila, you have your stop loss. Now, I probably should do, I wanted to do a small stream of how to get into crypto for people that don't know how to get into crypto. Someone was asking me today at the office, how do you get into cryptocurrencies? So I gave a pretty good talk about it, and I think I should make some sort of stream like that for the people that don't know, at least have an idea how to get into crypto. Anyways, guys, there's really nothing else going on. If you guys want me to look at something else, it doesn't have to be crypto related. It can be whatever on the market. Gold, silver, commodities in general, other currencies, not necessarily cryptos, or any stocks I can look at also, right? So you just put them out in the chat, and if we don't have anything, we're gonna call it a stream for tonight. We've been live almost for 1 hour. We've gone longer sometimes. It just depends on how much stuff you guys want to cover, or how many questions you guys actually have. If you guys don't have any questions, we usually just end the stream. So I'll give you guys a couple seconds for you to actually come up with a question or something, assuming you have some sort of delay. And if not, I will just basically start playing our outro song that I determined it was going to be the I Am Everywhere song from TechnoAxe, which is a guy who I get my royalty-free music from. And so long as I credit him on the bottom of the stream, which is the music section, and I'm allowed to play his royalty-free music without getting copyright strikes from YouTube, which is really, really cool, man. I'm glad that there's people that do have free copyright music that you don't have to pay for, and that you are allowed to use for non-commercial purposes. Like this channel is non-commercial, it's just informative in nature. So yeah, let's play I'm Everywhere as I do my sign off. Guys, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here with me on a beautiful Tuesday night. I hope you have a great time. Talk about crypto to your friends, to your family, to your coworkers. Let them know that we are here. This is Instead of Crypto. I'm your host, Martin. It has been a pleasure hosting you guys. I do believe we're the best crypto channel out there for beginners, intermediates, and advanced users. We are very fair on everything that we do, analysis, coins, etc. So again, if you like what we do, hit us with a subscribe, hit us with a like. We're here every night, almost every night, usually every night at 9 p.m. Central. Sometimes I do get delayed. I do have real life stuff. I'm not just a YouTuber. I do have a daytime job. I have a family. I have kids. So I do have to divide my time. But I try to be here at 9 p.m. almost every night. On the weekends, if I have something going on, I'll probably stream earlier, but I'll let you know. And other than that, thank you for watching. Again, I'll catch you tomorrow with another edition of the State of Crypto. We'll see what news we have going on out there. Thank you guys for watching. That'll be all. Enjoy the rest of your night.